So you got 6 senators that were not born in America. 6 senators that were not born in America. Here's Bernie Moreno. Here's Mazzy Moreno. Here's Chris Van Hollen. Here's Tammy Duckworth. Here's Mike Bennett of Colorado. And here's Ted Cruz of Texas. They want to talk about how immigrants are taking our jobs. Well, actually, immigrants are taking our government. They're taking over our government. And this is such ludicrous. This is such hypocrisy. This is criminality. This is immorality. This is hypocrisy. Just like the genocide in Gaza. Ted Cruz was born in Canada. Now, they say because his mother was an American, which let's put a pin in that for a second, and his father was Cuban. They were born in Canada, but because of blood, therefore, he's an American. But if you actually open up the Constitution and you read the Constitution, it says that all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. In the state where they reside. So you need to be born here or you need to be naturalized. Ted Cruz was neither. He just renounced his Canadian citizenship just a few years ago. That's all he did. He's been a dual citizen, a Canadian-American, posing as an American. He has not been naturalized. So he's renounced the only citizenship he actually had. He's not an American. This guy is not an American, and he wants to go on and on about birthright citizenship. I'm going to check to see if the other senators that I just pointed to you, this isn't just Congress people, right, the representatives, but this is the elite Senate. The elite Senate? Isn't Texas one of the most anti-immigrant states out there, and yet he's going to cosplay? He's cosplaying, he's pretending to be an American. Ted Cruz is not an American. Now, not only is he not an American, but he voted for the Lake and Riley Act. And then so did somebody else. So did, was it Moreno? Yeah, Moreno voted for the Lake and Riley Act as well. So interesting how these illegal immigrants are coming in, taking over our government when they're not American citizens. Now I'm going to check to see if any of these other guys have been naturalized either. And we'll start with Moreno. So, was Bernie Moreno naturalized as an American citizen? So it's saying that he was born in Colombia. He moved to the United States when he was 5 years of age. So he's a dreamer. He doesn't get birthright citizenship. It says that he became a naturalized American citizen at 18. How was that? I want to know the exact details of that. He went through the 7-year process. So when he was 11, he started the process. His mother, concerned about her children growing up in an environment of entitlement, sought to provide them with opportunities of education and personal development. And then he did some other things. So Bernie Moreno. Who is Bernie Moreno? What state does he represent? He represents Ohio. So this illegal immigrant is taking our government jobs. They're taking our Senate seats. And so were these other folks. And I'm not going to get into their backgrounds too much except for this asshole, this motherfucker. He wants to browbeat Tulsi Gabbard over Edward Snowden. Edward Snowden, the great all-time American hero. Edward Snowden, the guy who told us the truth. The guy who told us, we the people, the truth. Thinking that we would stand up and rally behind him. This guy wants to shit on Edward Snowden as if Edward Snowden isn't one of the greatest Americans to ever have lived. Edward Snowden was sitting in a comfortable office making 6 figures. So he's making 6 figures, and he could have just been part of the deep state and secretly spying on the rest of us, but instead his conscience got to him. He says that we're breaking the 4th Amendment, and so therefore the country that he loved and thought that he loved and knew wasn't the country that he knew. And so then he's going to break the 4th wall, tells the media about this big old NSA spying program that was initiated right after 9/11. They forced down Homeland Security, wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, Homeland Security, 2 wars, and then NSA spying on top of it. Plus, several other things. So this was part of a bunch of measures that had happened in order to silence dissent and to stop Americans from talking to each other. Edward Snowden told us the truth. So maybe Michael Bennett can start telling us the truth. This is when the rubber meets the road. This is when the rubber meets the road. Yeah, what a weird motherfucker. He's got a weird-ass voice, too. So this weird-ass motherfucker is going to be a gigantic hypocrite. Talk about criminality, immorality, and hypocrisy. Well, this is the face of criminality. This is the face of immorality and hypocrisy. So I just wanted to point that out, that you have 6 senators that were born off of American soil. And I know that Ted Cruz for sure was not naturalized. He wasn't naturalized. He didn't go through the paperwork. There is some congressional act of 1940, he's saying, because by blood that makes him an American. Well, that doesn't make any sense to me. The Constitution overrides the statute, so therefore the Constitution reigns supreme. And the Constitution says you need to be naturalized or you need to be born here. He was done. Neither one of those two things were done. And also, what's it say about Texas? Texas, you're going to hate your immigrants, and then you're going to elect an immigrant to the highest damn office. You're going to elect an immigrant to the most powerful seat of your state. So that's all it takes. If you're an immigrant, come in here and just be a rabid racist pile of shit. If you're an immigrant, come in here, be a rabid racist pile of shit, and then you'll get elected to the top tiers of government. That makes no sense whatsoever. And it's bullshit.